Okay, these terms are used to describe the shape of a histogram. You can also use them to describe the shape of like a stem and leaf plot or a dot plot, but we use it most frequently with the histogram. So a uniform distribution is basically saying all the frequencies are about the same. So every rectangle will be about the same height. Does it have to be exact? No. We're just talking about kind of close to the same. Bell-shaped is where your highest frequency is in the middle, and you have about equal on each side, so it makes a nice bell-shaped curve. Skewed right, it trails off to the right. So you've got the center, the highest part here, and then you have a bunch of points going off on the right side. Skewed left goes to the left. So I'd like to put some pictures up here to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about, and then I have a few that I'm going to put up and we're going to decide what shape they would be. Rarely will something turn out to be exact. So we are going to describe it using our best guess. Kind of like some of the other things we're talking about, there's not always one clear right answer. So sometimes you may be able to make an argument that's bell-shaped and someone else may say, well, I think it's a little bit skewed this way. And neither one of you is necessarily wrong, okay? So some of this, there's a little room for interpretation. On test or quiz, I try to give you very obvious ones, so not something where there's a lot of possible answers. So that first one is uniform. Exactly uniform, for that matter. Everything had the exact same height. Second one, that is what I'm referring to as bell-shaped. So you see, it's not perfect, but the highest frequency is in the middle, kind of trails off to the sides. You have a nice bell shape to it. This one is skewed to the right. Here's the middle. Do that curve. This curve goes forever on the right. The right-hand side trails off. This is skewed to the left. Here's the middle where you have the most points, and it extends forever to the left. Okay? So I'm just going to use my document camera to put a few graphs up here, and we'll see if we can talk through them and decide what would be the best way to describe them. I'll give you a second if you're trying to sketch a picture to go with the ones that the terms that we drew. We will use these terms throughout the semester. Right now we're talking about histograms. Later on we will have like the curves themselves, not just bars. So we'll use this term throughout. Okay. What do you think this one would be?
Uniform.
Uniform. Mostly bell-shaped. Good. Which way is it?
Right.
Yeah, the tail, the way the tail extends is the direction it's skewed. So it's skewed to the right because I've got points trailing off on the right.
Uniform.
You have more points off to the left. Left and right, put an L and an R on your hand. So it's going off to the left. Skewed to the left, it's going off to the left. Going off to the right. Yeah, that's kind of one of those where it's kind of hard. Does it really match any of them? Not really. I think uniform is probably about the best, with the exception of a couple. Most of them are pretty well the same. There's definitely not like a good peak to it.
Could you say like it's multiple? Like two things?
Yes, you could. So this is one there where I probably wouldn't put that on test or quiz because it's really not any of them. You could make an argument for a couple different possibilities there. Yeah, this one's a general bell shape, skewed to the right. This is one you could probably make an argument for skewed right or bell on this one. It's not perfect, it doesn't really match either one, but you could kind of see a general bell shape to it. You only had 2 rectangles on the left, 3 on the right, so you could say it's a little skewed right. What about that one?
Bell.
That one's a more clear bell. Okay. Any question about that? So you have the rest of the hour to work, check yourself, ask me questions. You can ask each other questions, whatever you need to do.